What's up, internet? My name's Ori. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. You like this video, hit that like button, hit that notification bell. You'll never miss a video. You'll never miss a stream. Today is Tuesday, September 19th, day number 49 inside the Big Brother house. And it was another slowish day, other than the veto ceremony taking place, but we do have a few really interesting conversations to go over. And it's just so amazing how different this house feels with shout out to Hisam in a post Izzy world. Everything is so much more chill. There's not all this crazy back and forth. Cirie has kind of slowed down, except for maybe a major mistake she made today that we're going to talk about. But let's jump into what happened on the feeds yesterday. So we had the veto ceremony. It was used by Jag on Cory. Cameron went up next to America, and he will most likely be the one to be evicted this week. Doesn't seem like there's a chance for the flip here. Everyone's pretty much locked in, so Cameron should be going. He did have kind of a funny moment, though, where he said to Jag one day, once everything was kind of calmed down a little bit later, and he was like, you know, I'm a little confused by the plan. I would think there was an easier way to get America out than me going up. And Jag thought that was a pretty good one. I did as well. Other than that, though, we'd have Felicia kind of continuing her anti-Cirie and Jared push, kind of, you know, pretty much telling everybody who would listen that she doesn't trust them anymore, about how she realizes what happened with the vote. Everything she was saying, they all pretty much knew or felt before she said it. But it is still interesting to see her being that adamant that she's like, no, I'm against them. Like, at this point, it's over. It doesn't make sense for her to put them up, and they all kind of realize that as well, that she's probably just trying to get in good with them for when eventually it comes down to getting Cirie out. Maybe they don't put her up, which I think they all now realize it would be a pointless week next week if Cirie or Jared do not go. So in the double, if it's not Cirie who wins the HOH, expect to see Cirie and Jared both sitting on the nomination block for that veto. Because if Jared were to happen to win veto, both of them are safe. So it kind of interesting. Now, let's get into Cirie, because first off, it's her very smart, strategic mind that sees how the game is going, right? She observes the house dynamics very well and fills in Felicia. She's like, listen, it's going to be Cory and America and Jag, final three. They're going to make it. They're going to end up taking everybody else out. They've already talked about how they don't want to sit next to Matt. They don't want to sit next to you or me. But they probably aren't worried about you and me right now. They're going to get Cameron out this week. Jared will go next week. Eventually, they'll get Matt and Blue, and then us eventually, and then Mimi and Bowie. They're probably not worried about it all either. And it's going to end up being Cory, America, and Jag in the final three. She's like, man, do you think? She's like, I think so. I think that's exactly what's going to happen. And she's not wrong. That does kind of seem like a little bit of where we're headed. Though there is some little bit more cloudiness with Mimi really getting kind of closer to a lot of different people and getting some good relationships. And I think Cory and Jag and Matt all kind of would make moves. America, too, would probably make a move, especially later on when it gets to like 5, 4, even 6, when they need to get out somebody that like Matt or like Jag if the opportunity presents themselves. And there's a lot of time to go. But as of right now, it's a pretty good read on the house. The critical mistake, though, here is she ends up telling Blue about this conversation. But instead of saying, hey, this is my theory and what I think's going to happen, she says Felicia told her that Cory, America, and Jag must be in a final three and they're going to get the end. Why is this such a big mistake? Well, Blue went and told everybody already. She pretty much told America, Cory, Jag, Matt, everything about this, and how apparently Felicia told Cirie this. So now there's this big lie going around that Felicia is saying there's a final three, when Cirie is the one who told Felicia. What makes this even better is, now that Blue has told Cory, he wants to tell Felicia this is what Cirie said. This very well could lead to a massive blow up between Felicia and Cirie. And I kind of want to see her confront Cirie about this. I really do. It would just probably be one of the best Big Brother fights we've had in a long time. And we already had one of the great ones this season. I want to see Felicia versus Cirie. Maybe I'm alone with that in that, but I think it would be really entertaining. Other than that, though, the feeds were down a lot yesterday, especially later at the end of the night. Not 100% sure why. At first, I thought there was a kind of a long outing when Blue spilled, I think it was artichoke dick. I think I said something else there, but it was artichoke dip. She spilt that in the oven, and that had to be cleaned up. And I thought, well, maybe like the oven kind of broke, so they wanted to come in and clean it before it like burned everything and really was smoking up the house. But I don't know if that was really it, because again, the feeds went down several times. Maybe it was just kind of like a shift change kind of a thing where people were swapping out who's running the boards. I'm not 100% sure, but they did seem like they were down a lot yesterday for really no reason. But yeah, it was a thing. There were a few late night convos to talk about, though, with Bowie, in two of them in particular. First was with Jag, and one of the big things I really liked coming out of this conversation was a really good point and pitch that Jag made to her. And he said, listen, when you look at like all these alliances that there were, right, you can clearly see like, okay, there's people that were in multiple alliances lying to everybody, and you can go, they're untrustworthy. But you can also kind of look at it from another side, where the people who were in each of those alliances that didn't spill information on each other and thought those alliances were real, you can look at them and go, they're trustworthy. They're people I would want to work with. And they're all the people that were kind of in the backyard last night. Jag, Matt, America, Cory, Mimi, Bowie. These are all people that were in these alliances that didn't tell each other, right? He's like, I never told you about any of these things. You never told me about any of these things. Cory never told you about any of these things. We can all know, like, we're loyal people that were loyal to these alliances. Yeah, we can tell now that Jared and Cirie obviously can't be trusted. But the people who didn't rat out those alliances and it kept it a secret and believed in them, they're actually people that you probably can trust really well. So I thought that was a great point that he made, and especially because not many people would look at it from that situation, right? They would just see, oh, look at the people who were lying to all of us. All right, but what about the people who were lied to and were loyal? Because I bet you could work with those people now, and that kind of seems like what's happening in the house. So it's really interesting to see this kind of play out. We also had Matt chatting with Bowie as well, just to kind of really, see where she stands, lock in her vote, and to make sure that, if potentially she would win HOH, that she would also go after Cirie and Jared, and just kind of make sure that, she's on the same page with everybody. There were then different combos of Cory, Jag, Matt, America, Bowie even got up at one point in the middle of the night. Just the people getting up at random times, having chats. But for the most part, just kind of chatting again. Same stuff, kind of going over, potential plans. There was kind of a funny moment, though, where it was Cory, Jag, and Matt kind of chilling in the bathroom. And Cory wants to tell Felicia about what Blue had told them, with Felicia saying there was a 3-person alliance with Cory, America, and Jag. And Jag's like, yeah, that does kind of throw Blue under the bus because she's the one who told us about this. And they're like, yeah, that's a thing. And Cory just kind of shrugs. And Matt looks at him like, he was like, just mouth open, like sir. But he's got a point, right? Because no matter what, even if Felicia would be upset, or Blue might be upset, or she might get a little bit of heat from it, where's most of this heat gonna go? It's gonna be Felicia on Cirie, and that's good for them because right now, the way Cory sees it, and I kind of agree with him with this, is their biggest worry is if Cirie wins HOH, right? They know if Cirie wins HOH, it's probably going to be Cory in America going up on the block. If Felicia right now won HOH, they don't know 100% where her nominations would be. It could be Cory in America, could be Jag, could be anybody, right? They're not there. She's a wild card, right? They just don't know. I think at this point, she probably would put up Cirie and Jared already. They don't even need to do this. This would just be like a fun little sprinkle on top of the cake. But it seems like she would already be on board with that. This will even just push it further. And then they also talked about how potentially Mimi might put up somebody like Matt. Matt says he's going to kind of talk to Mimi tomorrow to get kind of closer to her, make sure they're in a good spot. But he said, like, if we can get it to a point where the only one that hurts us if they win HOH is Cirie, that's better, right? If Mimi's on board with getting out Cirie and Jared, and Felicia's on board, and Bowie's on board, we're good, right? If everybody's going after Cirie and Jared, it doesn't matter. As long as one of them's on the block next to anybody, one of them goes, and that makes things better, right? Hopefully it's Jared, and that makes things easier going forward. But if it can't be Jared, Cirie can go. And they all kind of want to get on board with this plan. So it's interesting to see. Plus, they know that Felicia is going to be very mad when they tell her this information. But they also don't know it's a lie. So it's going to be even better. So I really can't wait today for that information to get dropped. Cory will eventually tell Felicia. So we'll see how that all goes. I'm excited for it. But yeah, that pretty much covers it. There wasn't a lot. We can take another look at our alliance chart. Not much has changed over the day. But you never know with this group. I guess technically you could maybe add in a 6-person group with Jag, Matt, Cory America, Mimi, and Bowie. That potentially could be a thing that we could add, but at the moment, it's not really anything official. And even one of the kind of funny things with that is, like, they were like, listen, we can kind of be a group, but names are dangerous, right? And Cory actually made this point, and Bowie actually said she agreed, right? She's like, that's why I don't think we should give it a name. Because Cory said, imagine if we were up in that room, and instead of saying, oh, for real, and the 7 deadly sins are our alliance, if you just were able to say those 7, right? Like, you 7 are working together, it's much easier just to deny it and say, like, no, like, what are you talking about? Like, of course we talk, but it's not, we don't even have a name, right? So it makes it easier to deny if you don't have a name. So I think that was a kind of interesting point. Let's see if maybe they end up not actually naming it, but they do kind of solidify that kind of group of 6, and pretty much the only ones who wouldn't be in that would be Felicia, Jared, and Cirie. So that'll be interesting to kind of see. But yeah, other than that, kind of a slow day. Again, it's really kind of crazy how different it is now that Izzy's gone. She really was an agent of chaos in that house. And I think really kind of stirred up Cirie as well to really get her juices flowing for the game. And we'll see. We'll see how things go. I'm excited to see a potential Cirie versus Felicia fight happen today. But let me know what you guys are thinking down in the comments down below about everything that's going on. We also still are thinking about a name for the community, right? I think Oreos might be the leading candidate, but it's still up in the air. Lots of great suggestions. Let me know in those comments down below what you guys are thinking. Also, if you are new here, hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, smash that like button, hit that notification bell. You'll never miss a video. You'll never miss a stream. Links to all my socials in the description down below. Things like my Twitch, Twitter, Discord, Kick. I plan to actually stream today. We'll see how that goes, depending on timing and things like that. I was going to try and fire it up yesterday, but things kind of got in the way and wasn't able to get to it. But keep an eye out for that. Kind of the best way to keep track is over on the Discord. You'll get notifications whenever I go live. But also on Twitter, I usually post when I'm going live as well. So thank you guys again, though, so much for watching. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. And I will see you next time.